Guys, I'll keep this no longer than 5 to 10 minutes. Just because so many problems have been popping up in my life and in people on my surroundings. And every time, no matter how hard I try to find the answer to my problems and to other people's problems, it all comes down to the same answer. It always comes down to the same answer. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship problem, if it's a financial problem, if it's a spiritual problem, if it's a physical problem, whatever it is, I always come down to one simple solution, and it's always the same. And I can 99% guarantee you, brother, that no matter what you're going through right now, I don't care what you're going through, 99% I can guarantee you, you're going to a problem which has the same solution that I had for me and for my community and for the people that I love and the people that I don't love, like anybody. There's only one solution to 99% of your problems. Doesn't matter how hard I try to overlook it. Sure, if you go to details, you can find smaller problems. I'm having financial problems. Well, I need to make more money, and so I need to start this business, whatever. But it always comes down to one simple solution: self-development. It's always self-development. Challenge me right now, bro. It's always self-development. No matter what you're going through, your answer is always self-development. Think about it. Think about it properly. If you were the perfect man, if you're living in congruency with the highest version of yourself, would you really be upset of what you're going through right now? Would you really be upset of the problems, or would you even have the problems that you're having right now if you lived like the man that you always wanted to be? Think about the version of you. Think about the life that he's living right now. Whether that's in 2 years or 5 years, think about the life that he's living and the actions that he's taking. Would he have the same problems? And if he did have the same problems as you now, would he feel the same way and act the same way as you currently? Absolutely fucking not. When I think about me in a few years, when I'm making way more money than I am now, when I have a way better physique, when I have a way better life, a way better community around me, way better people in my network, way more knowledge, and a lot more output and input in my content, nurturing more people, making a community of great men at the very early young age. I don't think absolutely at all I would be crying or thinking or overthinking about the shit that I would be now, or even a few months ago before I understood this and I really sat down and had to think about this. Bro, imagine, what would the highest version of you be doing every day? Just picture his day. For me, it's probably wake up at 5 a.m. every day and hasn't missed in years, hasn't missed a single day in years, whether it's on Christmas night, whether it's on holidays, he has been always waking up at 5 a.m. And so he wakes up at 5, and then what's next? Goes through his morning structure, right? Meditation, journal, cold shower, his morning prayer, whatever. And then he goes straight to work, 2 hours to 4 hours of straight work on his business, whatever he's doing, right? On his content, on his clients. He's just working his ass off, and, you know, instead of consuming, he's producing. Just so that he can make everybody else's life better. And then he's having healthy and good, nutritious meals. So he doesn't have problems in the toilet. He doesn't have mental problems. He doesn't have low testosterone and low energy. He's always feeling great. He's having healthy food and meals. And then he's going to the gym, pushing the hardest. He's making crazy fucking gains. He's making crazy fucking money. He goes to sleep early. Now, do you really think that man would be suffering from relation problems, from money problems, if a man has lived like that for years and years and years to come. Because let me tell you this, bro. Your lifestyle will never exceed your level of personal development. Never. Your money will never exceed your level of personal development. It all comes down to your personal development. It all comes down to how much you input every single day. How much you do to become better. It's not about 1% better, 1% better. You can literally be 20% better tomorrow. All you need to do is to go through the shit that you need to do regardless of how you feel. It doesn't always have to feel good. The reason why you keep on going well for 2 weeks and then you get off of self-improvement for a whole month and you start procrastinating is because you let dictate your feelings what you're going to do. Because the first 2 weeks you feel motivated and good. And then when you feel like shit, you just give up already. Don't give it a time. Eventually, if you start ignoring how you feel and you just keep on doing it, momentum is going to build and then your feelings will become far more greater. Your life will become way better. And eventually, problems that you would be overlooking at in the past would now feel like nothing. Because how you feel comes down to how much you input throughout your day, how much you give throughout your day, how much you do in the gym, how healthy you eat, how early you wake up, how long you work. That's what it all comes down to. That's what it all comes down to. It's not, oh, my girlfriend is being toxic, she's being annoying, oh, my mom is telling me this, my boss said this. Fuck that shit, bro. You don't need anybody to dictate how you go. You're the only one that decides how your life is. And so yes, it's not going to be all roses and flowers tomorrow if you decide to use discipline. You need to build momentum. I had a shitty life when I thought, I found out about self-development like on the details deeply. And I was like, well, I'm being disciplined. Why is nothing changing to me? It's been a fucking week, that's why. You need to stay there for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and you're going to understand that this feeling doesn't come in a one day. It just stays there. When you're going through tough times, you will feel like shit. But you will never ever regret taking action. You will always feel good later on. See, when we do shit that we're not supposed to do, it's not... How do I put it into words? When we are going through instant gratification, it's not the action itself that makes it feel like shit. Think about it. It's the regret that makes it feel like shit. Because regret is one of the worst feelings. Regret can haunt you for life. And you can do nothing about it. Right? There are so many mistakes that you can do something about to make better. Regret is one of the only ones that you can do nothing about, if not the only one. Because the reason why you're regretting it in the first place is because it's too late to change your actions. You've already done it. It's too late. And the consequences already came or are yet to come. So when you're taking the route of instant gratification, what hurts the most is the regret. And that's why using discipline feels so much better. Because when you're using discipline, you're doing shit that you don't feel like doing. And you're going to feel like shit as you're doing it. However, later on, you're not going to feel regret. You're going to feel joy for taking action. That's what the difference. That's what makes your feelings get in the way and then builds momentum. You will subconsciously know by the 3rd month that you've been fuck ton of disciplined that, oh, I don't need to feel good. I know that feeling will come later anyways. Just take action. You build momentum. It's that simple. It all comes down to self-development. One of my friends was like, bro, you're doing so well for yourself. You're like only 17 years old and you have an above average physique. You're making 4 digits a month. You're supporting your parents. You're You're waking up early, you're doing all these things. And I was like, bro, fuck no. I don't want to compare myself to the average people of my age. I want to compare myself to people, well, if I'm 20, I want to compare myself to 25 years olds that are making 10 times the amount of money that I'm making, that are living in Miami, that have a way better life than me. That's who I want to compare with. Because the second you start comparing yourself to average people, you're only going to feel better about yourself. And then you're going to want to settle in your current position until you realize it's too late and people have already surpassed you. Don't settle for less, bro. Keep aiming for higher, and whatever problem you have, never let self-development go out the way, because that is the only solution. Keep grinding.